Yes, I was with Brian, so that was like a crazy thing. Like the press used to follow everything we did, and do you know what? At the time, we were just living a normal life, what we thought was a normal life, and it's
Become
like
the norm.
yeah, and like we just lived in a little house, a little flat together, and that, and it was fun. And you know, he was the love of my life. He's probably the only man I've ever loved.
Brian Harvey.
Brian Harvey was probably the only man I ever loved, but like loved, actually did love, and but we were just too young. Do you know what I mean? And it was just the fame and everything else, and he just couldn't deal with my addiction. Yeah. Brian hates cocaine. He hates drugs like that. It's a weed smoker like my son, but he hated cocaine. He hated it. People used to go, oh, it's only because of Brian Harvey. It was nothing to do with Brian Harvey why I took drugs.
Yeah.
I was taking it long before I met Brian. Brian hated that shit.
Yeah. It's easy to do it. People do that though, isn't it? Just sort of criticise.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's easy. Like people used to say, oh, Whitney Houston only because of Bobby Brown. Well,
that's what I was thinking.
I mean,
say, that's it. You know,
on a much bigger scale, but it's like, do you know what I mean? And like Brian was a massive talent, and he still is a massive talent today within his. And my son's worked with Brian, even with like Brian's produced stuff with Kai and done stuff, and that makes my heart happy. You know what I mean? It's like they're so alike, like crazy, but.
I've seen what's going on with brother, and you know, like it's sad. Do you know what I mean?
It's not sad. It's real. What Brian's doing is real. Like that stuff about the Red Room and all that stuff about them parties and paedophile rings. Yeah, it happened. It's real. Yeah, I was part of that. Yeah. I was groomed and abused.
I wasn't saying that's not. I'm not saying that's sad. I mean,
it's sad that
not that he's. I mean, the sad bit I'm saying is like.
What's sad is no one's listening to him,
and he's not. And like people mocking and all that.
Well, people are going to mock him because they don't want to hear the truth. As much as this COVID thing has made people look at conspiracy theories, and what Brian's talking about isn't a conspiracy theory; it's real life. Yeah, then paedophile rings do happen. Yeah, then paedophile rings did happen on a massive scale. Yeah. That's how I got my fame, was through being groomed and abused. Luckily for Brian, he wasn't abused, but Brian found out a lot about it, and he's rallied and he's done as much as he can to stop it. And people are trying to shut him down for it, and people think he's crazy and everything else. But he has had his house bugged, and he has had a lot of things gone on, and he's fighting a good fight for something that he wasn't even. Thank God he wasn't abused, but he's fighting for all of us that was. And he's got a voice for it. And do you know what Brian is? He might be a little man, but he's got some big bollocks on him. And he's got a big mouth, and he has got a big mouth, and he's been behind the door for things that he shouldn't have been because he was innocent. He's done a lot of things, and I will rally. I'll back Brian Harvey till the day I die. I always would, because I know what he's doing is real, and all that stuff with the Red Room and the secret passage doorway and the things that were going on in there. Yeah, we did see it, and I will say it on tape because I know when the James English thing came out, and I think he thought it might have been a lie.